All right. Welcome everyone to the Phone Tap Podcast with Unk and the Burnouts, and we have Derek back with us again. If you remember, he was with us, I believe.
What was it? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think it was.
Something
Not
like
100% sure what the episode is, but it was actually a fun episode. It was one of those ones where we just kind of talked about random shit and it turned out pretty good, I think.
That was a fun one.
We got him back again, and I'm not sick this week, so I can get in on the fun.
Oh, he's not sick with a cold anyway.
I'm still sick in the head. Anyway.
Yeah, I really didn't have a whole bunch of topics today. I did finally get the Canna box in. It was kind of a letdown to me, though.
Uh,
I mean, I kind of liked the bong it came. It was, the theme was, it was Halloween, but the theme was coffins. And I got a coffin bong, which I kind of like it. It's just a little top heavy. And then I have, what else did we get? Frank's rolling some joints right now out of the papers, which were called
Black Craft hemp papers.
Everything was like coffin themed. What else did we get that was, we got some hemp papers, an ashtray, which is probably my favorite part about it, because we were just talking about how Rob didn't want us to hit the table too hard with the ashtray because it's glass. Well, now we have a silicone one, and it's not loud.
Me later on for editing purposes.
Yeah, I mean, smoke, use the ashtray. So, Derek, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
That's good.
Did you bring some topics in for us to talk about today?
You? Just gonna interject when they come up.
Alright. So...
Any interesting odds and ends questions you got for him?
Yeah, maybe. Depends on how high I get and what I remember. You know?
You weren't here when he was with us last time, were you?
No, I wasn't. What were you guys talking about last time?
Oh, man, we had a bunch of stuff we talked about. We talked about, my favorite part was that we ended up getting into older music and stuff. That was fun.
Oh, I hate the papers.
Oh, that's right. That I knew that. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
That was gross.
You don't like to eat your weed?
No, I ate the paper.
What the hell is that?
That is the Black
Papers
Craft paper that they sent in the Canna box. I'm trying it out.
With the filter.
With the filter.
Comes
They're
with a
long
filter?
ones.
Comes with a filter.
Couldn't tell if he was talking about what you rolled or the quality of what you rolled.
Maybe a
Could
little
be
both.
Interesting. Organic hemp. I don't know. It
Honestly,
seems
that's
kind of gimmicky.
not
but
that
it's
bad.
definitely got me.
Oh, I know. I just joined in.
I can't roll a joint for shit, so it's definitely better than...
See.
I can't see how shitty the joint looks right now, but... If
For
it
someone
smokes...
who never really smokes joints or never really rolls them, he rolls the best joints fucking ever.
How do you know?
Because he's rolled me joints before.
Oh, okay.
I even have a machine. It's an
Yeah.
old
I'm just
cigarette
going based
rolling
on
machine.
what you said earlier, you know?
Yeah, no, we haven't
You said
exactly
you-
smoked together, but he's rolled me joints and...
Yo, that's not bad. I don't taste-
Here and there.
I don't taste any paper on this at all. I'm just tasting the weed.
I learned how to roll joints from a prisoner.
I learned how to roll my
Secret is
blunts.
a pencil.
Yeah.
Pencil and a dollar bill.
Yeah, a friend of mine uses a dollar. I learned how to roll blunts from
Pencil.
the Jamaican soccer players in college. They taught me how to roll blunts. I didn't know how to roll a blunt until I went to college. Smoked them all the time, but never knew how to roll one. I can roll joints, but they just look like they are about to have a baby.
I can roll passable joints. I mean, yeah, mine look pregnant too, but
Yeah, but you smoke joints all the time.
only when I'm going places.
Oh yeah, on the go.
Yeah, that's my on the go thing.
Which is all the time, because
So,
Rob,
You're always on the go, man. Like, for real. You might as well. You know what you ought to get? It's a Cheech and Chong bowl. It's an actual bowl. It's not. They didn't design it, but they market it. So it's this thing where you click a button, the lighter pops up over top of the bowl, and at the same time,
Not bad at all.
at the same time, the top that covers the bowl comes back so that the lighter can go in. Because it's got a top that goes on it, so that way when you let go of the button, the top goes back over, it puts the weed out, and you can slip it back in your pocket.
Even then, the reason why I prefer pieces, I found this with cigarettes, is like you see, a lot of my work I can do sitting down. So I'll light one up, I'll get busy with something, put it down, and it'll just burn up or burn out.
No.
So I'd rather have a bowl on hand if I'm doing
Sounds like
something.
my mom with cigarettes, man. Sometimes she'll light a cigarette.
Honestly, that's why
She'll
I
go into a
spend so
different
much
room.
money on
She'll put that down in the ashtray, go into a different room, light another cigarette.
I've never gotten to the point where I smoke a full
You
pack
want
a
that,
day
dude?
on my own.
That's good. When I smoked, a pack would last me like, I don't know, almost a
Oh,
week.
That's
up
really not
until
bad
this
at all.
point, like
And I
my
don't usually
days
put
off
filters in it.
from
No, that's
normal
pretty good.
jobs I'd spend doing like what I do here, I'll light one up, then I'll get an idea, I'll put the thing down, half hour to an hour will go by, I'll be like, fuck, I forgot about
Speaking
it, and
of
I'll get
which,
there, and it's just a butt.
I was gonna say, you've got an Unc's Blessing sitting right next to you.
No,
No, it's actually a
it-
fire stick. It's one at Brian's first.
Oh, you were
His
supposed to
first
try it
batch.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, his joints come out pretty fucking nice.
That machine actually is pretty good, bro.
Oh, is this the
only
machine one?
yesterday he used
Yeah.
it, and there was only 6 out of 169 joint. Or is it 179 or 169?
I thought it does 150.
Whatever.
It-
But still,
It's
there
a
was only
lot.
6 out of that whole thing that didn't turn
Oh,
right.
speaking of that,
Wow.
I was thinking about that. So Dan said that our other low joint will be a strain specific. He wants it to be strain specific, like no blend. You know what I mean? I agree with that. But what I was thinking would be we do one of those machines at a time of the strain specific, and when that runs out, we pick a new strain. You know what I'm saying? Because it does like 150. That's enough for 3-4 days of that one.
Why do you not want to do the blend? I mean, if you stop making Unc's Blessing.
He wants to do those and a strain specific. He wants the Unc's Blessing to be a blend, but he wants the other one to be just one kind.
Gotten some good over the past couple months too of some
Yeah.
bags of shake, that we've used.
Alright.
So that's why I'm saying it's
Yeah.
and it's been blended so many times. It's not shit. There's
Don't bring the old out of me, young man. I'll tell you about some shit.
yeah, right. Me too, man.
I can tell you about some shit weed, half the weight
Brick-ass
stems
weed
and
with- yeah.
seeds. I bought an ounce for $80 today.
Had nuts in it.
Bought an ounce for $80, but you really only after
You only got
the
10
seeds
grams. And of that 10 grams, you had to smoke 3 of it to get high.
I think that's why people used to get in trouble a lot more back in the day with marijuana, is because you had to. It wasn't
so
just to
much
hit the bowl a couple of times and be gone. You had to smoke a couple of joints to get high, and you were there for a lot longer. So
I think that's why we invented like the gravity bong and shit like that, just so we can try to speed.
what do you
this shit
mean?
up
The
a
people
little
of what are they called now? The Gen X? Is that what this is?
Yeah,
No,
that's
they
you.
think I'm not a Gen X.
bit. I'm a
Yeah,
Gen
you are.
Xer.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. So, millennials are people born 1982 to 1999. Gen X is the generation just before them.
Oh, and then it was baby
1965.
And then it was baby
boomers. Okay,
boomers.
so yes, you're right. I'm Gen X.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
82 is the cusp year, so you're actually a little bit of both.
No, he's in the 70s.
Oh,
so
I
he's
know, I'm
firmly
82.
Gen X.
That's what,
Oh,
Gen
you're
X.
so you're right in between.
Yeah, I'm Gen X.
He's
though.
a tweener.
I was born early enough in the 80s decade to remember what the 80s smelled like.
The 80s had a smell.
Yeah.
did.
Well, no,
Musky-
he's been
musky
saying
weed.
that for a while, and as soon as I saw the look on Unc's face, yeah, the 80s had its own smell
It
to
was
it.
like musky weed. I mean,
Y'all didn't know how to carry weed.
I don't want to use the
It was
grandma's
like
basement
everyone
stuff
on
for that
Earth
because it's not that kind of musty. It was kind
washed
of like
their
a.
clothes and like didn't dry them right away or something.
Yep, exactly.
This
And some of it, I
musty-
don't know if you remember, some of them even tasted like fucking laundry detergent. Or had like a faint laundry detergent flavor to it. And those were the good ones.
Summer's Eve. What?
Summer's Eve.
Oh yeah, I can tell you about that. The old red douchebags and
Oh my god, I got a story now that you guys want to bring that up. Okay, we're working at Olive Garden. And, all of us in production were all, under 30. 30 or under. Except for one lady. Her name was Jan. She was in her 70s. And she was from Long Island.
Oh boy.
So she had that accent. I can't remember what exactly somebody did something to someone else, and the dude yelled at him. He was like, "You're a fucking douchebag." And she just looked up from what she was doing, and she goes, "Douchebag? I haven't used one of those since the 70s." And we're like all looking at her like she just fucking entered from a new planet. Like, we don't really want to know about what you. I mean, we don't look at you like that, Grandma.
Great.
Yeah, but I mean,
Aliens, one of those.
Oh, I know what that is. Yeah.
that's like Betty
That's
White.
because you got cobwebs.
I haven't used one of those since
Betty
I was in my 50s, in the 70s.
Yeah, that was gross, dude.
Speaking of ancient history, do you have any history topics we could talk about today?
I was just gonna say, if you dislike the place called Towanda, it means in English where we bury the dead.
Isn't most of the people in Towanda like inbred, or is that not
The
real?
place where we bury our dead.
That's the place where we bury our
Like,
dead. So
isn't
they're
the-
mostly
sorry
micros.
if any of you are listeners are Vanderpools, but I've heard that Vanderpool
Yeah.
is one of the.
When they get married, they change their last name to Pool. They drop the Vander for some reason.
That's because they.
Oh, I know one.
Aren't
I
making
knew a
their
bunch of
own
them personally,
pool.
and a single one of them. Were
They're
worth
making their
saving.
own family tree that just goes straight down.
Yep.
Growing some weed like that, it doesn't turn out well in the end. You need a couple of genetics from the outside.
However, speaking of that, the original name for this place was Kanawahala, which awesomely enough means heads on a pole.
Is that where we get Conhockton from?
Cohocton?
Is that where we get cunnilingus?
This is the
Pretty sure that's a little older than that.
old, yeah.
That's Latin.
The Cayugans, who were originally from this place, they were very, very aggressive people. And they used to decorate what we now call Water Street with heads on poles.
Awesome.
Sweet. No wonder this place is known as Helmira.
Yeah. It's been this place forever,
Was that-
ever since they found the big, as they called it, the big tooth, or Shimon, in the river, and they worshipped it.
I've always called it a hole in the earth, just because, like,
Turned out to be a mammoth tusk that was
I
stolen by the
really
British
didn't
in
believe it. I
1771.
thought once I moved to Florida that I was good, I was staying in Florida, but
This place
it
draws you back.
sucked me back in.
I've said that since I was even old enough to realize that you always come back.
Just say you want to sink in a little bit.
The only ones
I mean,
who
I can
never
definitely say I'm in
do.
a way better place than I was last time, so...
See, you project a bit more, but they're closer to the mics. That way you don't get buried.
Frank, are you rolling another one?
Yes. I'm not usually a fan of hemp papers or even
Since when do you
filters,
smoke
but-
one back to back, Frank? Just giving me this fucking look like every 5 minutes.
Oh, there's even more of the
So is the
local
story...
tragedies here and everything.
Is the story true about how they got their name, Elmira? It was like some bar
It was the
Bartender's daughters.
bartender's daughter, yes. He was actually the judge. And it was a bar that they would go to have their meetings because they actually made it decreed, I believe it was July 20th, 1840, that all official functions would be held at the Elks Club. Got me.
And the bartender owner.
His daughter's name was
The
Elmira.
one that. I'm pointing the wrong way. The bar that is over off of Pennsylvania Avenue, that's way back in the where the railroad tracks are. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, this one would be over. Oh shit! Where the hell? did they
The
put it?
David.
No, it was definitely on the north side.
Does everyone remember the David?
It was, I believe, on Madison. Yes, my brother was a
It was the gay bar over on
very big
over on the east
frequenter.
side.
I remember Chill. Gay bar over there where somebody
Actually,
got
one of my
the owner
friends
got
got
killed.
arrested for walking into the David when he was drunk and just started punching gay people.
Why?
I don't know. You'll have to ask Air Dog when he comes in next time.
Oh my god.
Well, my brother.
Okay,
Does
dog.
that surprise you?
No, it does not. Now that you told me who it was, I can totally understand. I laughed so hard I broke my fucking paper in half, actually. Look at that. It was rolling real good until you told me you'll have to ask Air Dog. God damn it. I know Air Dog. Never mind. I don't have to ask him. He doesn't know. He doesn't remember.
Oh, he remembers. He loves to tell the story.
What led to such behavior?
I guess he was drinking.
All right. Doesn't like gay people. I guess. I'm sorry. Everybody's got their problems.
Yeah. So go ahead, Derek. Let's talk about some history. I'm gonna think about what dab I'm gonna do next.
What about?
Going off of that, a little piece of the David history. My brother Roger was actually beaten almost to within an inch of his life by a gang of assholes outside of that place one night.
Damn.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I'm not I don't specifically hang out where gay people hang out, and I'm not a homophobic by any means, but I don't like to hear about what they do, and it always turns into that. So I just try to stay away. To each their own. I'm not gonna dislike someone. Actually, some of the coolest people that I've met were gay. And that's the first thing that I let them know is that, hey, I just don't want to hear about what you do. I don't tell you about what I do. Well, I mean, if you're in a group of guys, you know, I talk like normal guys do, but
Locker room talk.
if you want to talk like that, then you should be hanging out with the girls. Tell them what you did.
Yeah.
Tell them
that's
what you did to Steve's asshole.
right. Because I mean, they probably enjoy the story. I won't.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Never even watched the Brokeback Mountain movie just because I just can't.
I've never even watched that one movie that everybody saw when I was back in high school, and they always tried to get me to watch it. It's got two girls
In a cup?
and a cup.
Oh, that
I've
sounds
never-
Movie?
Well, it's some sort of video,
Oh, yeah.
and I ain't watching it. That's for
I've
sure.
never seen the video, but
That
I've
thing
seen
belongs
people's
in the
reactions to
Smithsonian.
it, so I don't want to see it.
I've seen it. I've seen all the early internet stuff.
Do you
Yeah.
remember the Faces of Death?
Oh yeah, I actually have them all at home.
Do you really?
Yep.
On disc or VHS?
Digital.
You should send me those, dude. I love that type of shit.
Most of
It's
them
kind of twisted.
are
but,
fake.
Are they really?
Yeah. The ones that are real, you can tell because they're the grainier ones.
So the one with the guy parachuting into the alligator pit, was that real? And then they actually used
I think
that
that was
for one of
Faces
the...
3.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that one.
I mean, I know that that's actually
I mean-
happened before.
I mean, it was real, but the carnage didn't happen.
Right.
Like the footage of him coming in happened, but the close-ups when they go
Do
in.
you guys know what we're talking about?
I've heard of it. I haven't
It's like
actually had a chance
a
to
good
watch
example
it
of
yet.
that. Remember Faces 4? There's the girl who goes out in the speedboat and they get drunk and she falls overboard and gets cut up by the
Yes.
thing. That happened, but the close-ups that they go into were fake.
That's
Now
where
one of the
the-
real ones,
They also-
the jumper one was real, completely real.
Now, the one that I didn't really like or care for, and I know that this is something that they do over in Asia and other foreign countries over there, but the one with the monkey,
Oh,
they put the monkey in his head
the monkey
sticking
brain.
up, and
That's
they
Faces 4 as well, yeah.
hit the top of that monkey's head until it went fucking crazy ape shit. They cut the monkey's head off and just started eating it while it was still moving.
Yeah, that one
It's
was
fucking
real.
gross, dude.
The animal ones are usually real in those ones because they're animals.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I believe it's also Faces for the, I believe it's a Korean family that eats the husky puppies.
Ugh.
I don't remember that, but
Could be Faces.
that
one.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We've never had anything
Grim
like that around
topics.
here.
Uh,
Thankfully, we've never had any.
Well, I did live in Florida for
Serial
15 years, and they do
killers
have Florida Man, and that
Florida
they're
has
always
everything.
dumbasses, man. There's I can't.
Florida even has a guest starring appearance from Ted Bundy, for Christ's sake.
does it really?
Yeah, that's where he was put to death in 1989, but he also committed his last killings there, the Chi Omega Massacre. And his worst one ever, I believe she was 11-year-old girl.
Yeah, and the worst American female serial killer, Eileen something.
Wuornos.
Yes,
She was
she
down
was-
there as
yep.
well. Been many Florida serial killers, to tell you the truth. You
Yeah.
just don't hear
That
about
bitch was
a lot
crazy. She used to kill men.
because they don't, I guess, crack the all-time
She'd
list.
go to bars and just find men, take them out.
I mean, to be a
Fucking
serial
kill 'em.
killer, you just got to kill more than one person
Yeah.
at any different time.
I thought it was more than 3.
You gotta, I think it's at least 2 or more, but you have to have a specific method in order for them to classify it as a serial killer.
So,
Just don't ask Joyce to spell that for you.
Because there's a ritualistic element normally to most serial killers, and that's what they look for.
There's a rumor, my mom told me about a rumor of a pedophilia guy who was around here back in the 60s who apparently killed a couple of the kids, but they don't consider him a serial killer. They burned
There's
tore
that-
his house down. It's where
Is it
they
Jeremy
started shooting
Getz?
him.
Is that what his name is? Jeremy Getz? The dude.
Getman? Yeah, I
Getman?
went to school with him. He was a friend of mine, actually.
Yeah.
I know him personally.
I didn't know him personally, but
what happened?
he had a.
We used to snort Kool-Aid in science class. It was neat.
So he, rainbow when you blow your nose.
Oh no, it would say you get a huge blood spurt coming out of your face so you didn't have to be in class.
Perfect.
Yeah, kids nowadays and for the beginning of history, oh, I don't feel good. No, man, show some blood. You will get at least a week off until they figure out what the hell
I
happened.
think Jeremy Getman took.
And they never figure out
He
what
took a
happened.
bag full of guns and
He
bombs
rigged
and shit
Southside
to
to
school.
blow, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually,
This
yeah,
was.
he did that. 2002.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I only remember because, I knew him.
2002. I thought it was before.
No, yeah, I was at work and it came over the radio, and when his name came out, I went on a smoke break and I was like, fuck shit.
It was after me.
Because, I knew him. Like, I knew him. Like, we hung out. So he was a good
Do you
friend
know
of
my
mine.
brother? No,
He still
he's
would be,
10 years
but
younger.
we reconnected after he got out. But
Oh yeah, he did get out. not
he
too
went
long ago.
into seclusion.
I would too, because they still talk about him on TV shows and
Mhm.
shit.
That's kind of the reason why.
Yeah.
Shit.
He's
Like-
still around here, though.
Like Casey Anthony, I'd fuck the shit out that bitch. Just don't let her watch your kids.
Oh,
Right.
You want to
Yeah.
hear a true crime story for the ages? I should get my brother Sean in here
Just don't get her
sometime.
pregnant.
Right before he
Right.
met.
Would he ever do something like this?
Who? Sean?
Yeah.
No. He actually dated a woman who she's very famous for this. There's many true crime documentaries made about it. He was interviewed by the police and everything. He was asked to be a part of some of those, but it was before true crime was really popular like it is today. And yeah, she was from here. I can't remember her name, but they dated through high school, and she had a couple kids with some adults.
What's his name again?
And she went like crazy and went
Fly
down to, I think it was North Carolina, and she ended up driving her car into a lake and drowning her kids in there on purpose. I don't know, I was a little kid when it happened.
I think I remember you telling me about that now.
Wait, a lady driving her, what lake, around here?
No, it was in North Carolina, but she was from here, and the kids were from here, but she did it away from here. It was my brother's, actually it was my brother's girlfriend at the time that it happened, that's why he got interviewed and stuff.
Fucking nutty.
I remember back when I was a kid, one of the most gruesome things that had happened around here in a long time. I think I was like
You saw
10.
my dad naked too?
Huh?
You saw my dad naked?
Oh, my mom actually. Oh my god, she walked out. I'm gonna.
Man,
still-
you can't
I
even
still get
foreign
sick.
English.
I still get sick just thinking about it. Anyway, Rob, Gremlins. Anyway,
I love that.
so when I was about 10 or 12 down in Watkins, this guy murdered his girlfriend and put her in a wood chipper, and like they couldn't figure out who done it for the longest time, and they couldn't find the body or anything. And when they found it, they found like she was pieces,
Like mulch.
yeah. Like he put her in a wood chipper, like yeah.
If you're gonna kill someone, and I mean, God forbid, don't fucking kill someone. Take them to Florida. I mean, come on.
There's gators.
There's crocodiles now too,
Yeah, the recent invasion of the...
and
No,
there's big, huge
crocodiles.
snakes that will eat them.
Yeah. I think I brought that up last
I
time.
mean,
They talk
honestly,
about the people. Someone was talking about the dead people that are in the the river that's in New York City.
Yeah, the Hudson.
Yeah, the Hudson. Like all the people that got the cement shoe bath. You know?
Oh, yeah.
right.
Oh, actually, when I was out in Chicago, you should go to Chicago in
Yeah,
the summertime.
That one too.
I was, where the hell was I? I was on the beachfront where they have the amusement park and everything. And you just, at the right time, you'd get this waft. And when I got back to my hotel room and I asked what the hell the smell was all about, they're just like, it's from the bodies. It's just from the
It's
bodies.
fucking crazy. It really is. But can you imagine how many people have like been fed to gators? Like they don't leave
Any trace.
anything. No.
So
Pigs, you can feed them to pigs, but they'll still leave like
Just teeth.
joints and
no, just
Oh,
teeth.
teeth?
and shit.
Just
Yeah.
teeth. They'll eat everything if you give them enough time. They can't digest the teeth.
Gotta love pigs.
Right.
I kind of do love pigs. Though.
But no, you know where you really take somebody if you're trying to get rid of them? A
Denny's.
swamp.
Denny's.
Yeah. That's where cooks go to die. Anyway, no, take them to a swamp. Out in the middle of the swamp. Cement them down. The bog will get them. Just the insects alone take that. There'd be no evidence left by the time that body gets found.
I thought of a great way to get away with it, but I can't tell you guys.
See, in case he needs it later in life.
No, you want one that came close but was still traceable. If you want to kill somebody and not have them, oh yeah, disclaimer: don't kill anybody.
So, don't kill people.
You take some bleach and you put it on the windowsill, and you leave the window open a crack.
Why?
The fumes from it will mix with the air and it'll create an ammonia gas. And if you mix it with the right, I can't tell you the other thing, and it will.
Mustard gas, essentially.
Yeah, and it'll kill them in their sleep, and it leaves absolutely no trace. And it costs like 99 cents to do it.
Actually, I know how to make mustard gas. It's rudimentary.
I don't know how to
Almost
make anything.
everybody knows how to make
That
Salad
mustard gas.
sandwich.
But this is all leading into great local history.
Yes.
No, very much so. This is actually considered one of the most haunted cities in this part of the world. I don't believe
You ever
in
heard of
ghosts. But,
Connecticut Hill?
I don't believe in ghosts either.
I mean, I used to stay in the Reformatory up in Braceport for fun. And they say that that's like the haunting central.
It's an old building that creaks. You know,
Is it
it's kind of
still
like
there?
go saying. Oh.
Yeah, it was founded in 1836.
No, is it still standing?
Yeah, they can't tear it down. They gotta wait for it to fall down by itself.
It's protected, isn't it?
No, it's so filled with asbestos and every other caustic material that the cost of demolition or anything like
It's-
that.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to stay in there. Fuck you. I'm gonna come out with cancer.
Hey, when I got pneumococcal pneummonia and they did a chest x-ray, they said my chest is filled up with enough gunk. So, you know what? Fuck it, I'll go back.
Fuck that.
Speaking of asbestos, that's also in Lake Street Bridge. That's what they were doing a lot of the repairs upon, was getting the asbestos out of it, because it was built in 1961, that current bridge. That's actually the first bridge we ever had
Why
in
the
this
fuck would they
area.
use asbestos on a bridge?
Fire
Uh,
resistance, right?
fire
to-
resistance.
Yeah. That way, if the bridge caught on fire, hopefully it wouldn't burn and it would stay standing.
Yeah, that one replaced the
That's a
bridge
good
that was there in
history question.
1905.
Has any of the bridges ever fell down while they
Yeah.
were?
Lake Street Bridge fell down several times. The first bridge, like I said, the one we have now was built in 1961. That replaced the one that was built in 1905. But that one replaced several bridges. They had an all timber one in 1864. But that one kept catching on fire for some reason. Wood on water, you figure it wouldn't, but it does. And
I mean, they had gas streetlights.
yeah, and torches, and then
Yeah.
they also had like these stockade size, like 8-foot high walls on each side of the bridge for some reason made of wood, with the torches inside. You know, like the box. It's like a box without a lid. And
Okay.
but yeah, that's the first bridge system we've had here since 1824. That was when every other time you had to ferry your ass across it. And
Which was way higher back then.
Yeah, the river was way higher.
way higher and
We hadn't dammed it.
way safer actually, because
Really?
we hadn't dammed it yet. Yeah.
Because when you dammed it, that's when it creates the undertow, right?
Yeah.
When they dammed it.
Actually, the most devastating thing in this area is fire. This place has had more quote unquote great fires.
Really?
Oh yeah, the first
it
one was
from
in 1840.
Overpopulation, right?
No, actually, that's the one that cost us to lose the first Lake Street Bridge in 1840. It only lasted 16 years, burnt down, it caught most of the town on fire.
Huh.
And we had another one in what was it, 18? Let me check my bullet points here. We've had a shit ton. We've had at least 3 up until 1888. But fires, ironically, the place where we make fire hydrants and fire trucks catches on fire a lot.
Kennedy Valve.
Yeah, Kennedy Valve. That's actually the location of the first trading post in this entire area. Kennedy Valve, world renowned for their fire hydrants. But you know what this area is also known for that a lot of people don't realize? Helping the pasteurization process. Elmira, the glass factory, back when it was Thatcher Glass, they developed the green glass bottles that help preserve milk better and help for the delivery of milk faster and more efficient.
Yeah, I've always
So we could all
wondered
have
why they did that.
cereal.
You get some of your milk in a clear bottle, some of them come in a white bottle, some of it comes in a green bottle. I've seen brown bottles. It's fucking weird. But I won't eat brown eggs.
This whole area was laid out by General Washington.
Really?
George Washington, when he was here in 1779 to kill some British. Didn't kill many of them, just 17. We lost 11, 32 wounded. Battle of Newtown, 1779. The
Newtown
biggest
battlefield.
thing we lost in that fight was the original tusk, the mammoth tusk that got us our name of Chemung. The British stole it during the battle and haven't returned it since.
Yeah,
It's
they
one of the
have
many,
a
many,
tendency
many,
to do
many,
that.
many, 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 many things at the British Museum that
They've just stolen and never given back.
Oh, there's a
John
little
Oliver
joke.
said it looks more like an evidence locker
So,
than.
there's a joke going around. It says, never ask a man how much money he makes, a woman her age, or a Brit how they got so many artifacts in the museum.
Yeah, true facts.
Believe it or not, they weren't even the first white people to come here. That was the Spanish.
No, I thought it was the Icelandic or the Nordic.
Oh, yeah.
back in
I mean in the
1000 AD.
yeah. I mean in the modern.
Yeah. Yeah, believe it or not, there
viewpoint.
was
The Vikings.
Vikings, Nordic people in North America as far back as 1100 AD. They were
Earlier,
proven.
actually, they made it to Nova Scotia, which is still a part of North America.
Yeah, it's
but
just-
more near Greenland.
Yeah.
Oh, Scotia.
In
Isn't that
800,
No, it's
no,
Canada.
Oh,
Oh, north.
northeast,
Nova
yeah. But they made it as
Scotia.
far south as Newfoundland by the 1200s, with permanent settlements that we found within the last 20 years. But we can actually show that trading posts. They've had trading posts going almost as far down as Florida.
yeah.
They didn't physically get that far, but the natives
Their
that they
goods.
would trade would.
That's
and their
one of my
goods would get
favorite
that
things
far.
about Florida too is
Yeah, I
their,
guess why not?
Florida's U.S. history and stuff. I love the like. I've been to a lot of the.
We got it from the Spanish.
I went to.
1812.
No,
They have a
I think that was
lighthouse
Louisiana.
in-
I think
right
we got it
inside,
from
No, that was the
17.
1804 Louisiana Purchase.
I think we got
We got Florida from the Spanish. It was a Spanish colony up until the early 1800s.
I thought we got it just before the 1800s, like 1792, like right after our independence.
Ooh.
No?
No, that's when we got everything west of the Adirondacks to the Mississippi.
Ah.
And including this place, because we were actually, during the Revolution, not a part of anything. We were actually still a part of the Iroquois Nation. We were in the wilderness. At the founding of the
which
United
it
States,
still is.
we were claimed by
This area is
Pennsylvania.
right in the middle of wilderness.
We didn't become part of New York State until New York became a state.
And now they're trying to make New York State different states.
Which I think they need.
Why? Why do you think that? I think that's fucking stupid.
It would kill certain areas.
I think that's
We rely
absolutely
too much
stupid.
on New York
Like,
City to be broken up.
Yeah, but
I mean,
actually
and
also
I think
relies
part of
on
the
all
reason
us.
why they want to break it up too is
Yeah.
because they're trying to put all these. I don't want to call them illegals because I've been yelled at for that. They're not illegals. I think they're illegals, but some people do not. But that's what they're trying to do. Put them all in one specific spot, and that will be a New York. And then they're trying to split it up. They're trying to split it up into three, right? I think it was three.
I think what they're trying to do is avoid having to classify things as GCCs anymore. Native American reservations are actually classified in the government code as a GCC, or a government concentration camp, and it's designated its own number.
That's pretty fucking sad too if you look at it.
Oh yeah, trust me, I know. I'm two-spirit.
Crazy, man. I'm very interested in Indian stuff though. I lived in Syracuse for a while, and my roommate, he was his mother and father were
Mohawk.
Mohawk, yes, Tomahawk. Mohawk Indians, and like they still did all of their rituals and all that shit. I mean, they lived in a normal house, but they, daily
Well,
would
yeah.
go do their things with the family or the tribe or whatever. And
I'm at least, what, a quarter?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, Rob's native.
The northeastern natives, they didn't assimilate, but they got along, I guess you could say, a lot easier and faster. I mean, when the Pilgrims got here in Plymouth Rock, the natives that greeted them in English. And a wise man once said that when two people or two cultures or two things meet, the smarter of the two will actually learn the other's language. Not pointing any fingers.
right. I don't know
It's
any
not like the
Indian.
English came here and started speaking.
Native.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because
Also-
let's think about it in perspective.
It's
If an alien race comes to Earth, we've seen this in many movies. An alien race comes to Earth. What in the movie? What do? They greet us in English, or after a little while, they start talking to us in English, and they say, "Oh, we just had to learn your language. Wasn't that hard?"
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they say that the English language is one of the harder ones, right? But
Oh, yeah. It actually is the hardest. We have over 26,000 words in our language.
We have more words than any other language known.
Put together almost.
so, and how does that work then? So, like, for
It's-
example, like
I think
Japanese
it's
makes the pictures and shit,
because... Yeah.
but it's a small alphabet or however whatever it is that they use.
Beautiful.
But is it because those words mean a more variety of a?
A lot of them mean things, like phrases, like the Native American languages. It's not more on... Like, they have a single word that means an entire sentence, as opposed to
Right,
a bunch
that's
of
what I mean,
little
yeah,
words
yeah.
meaning,
So,
individual
It's
things.
actually like that in Spanish. I actually know small amounts of Spanish, but if I was to say, forgive me for pronouncing it wrong, but like, trabajado, something like that, means to work, right? But if I said trabajamos or something like that, it means we are working or we're going to work.
And-
That's a whole fucking sentence.
And then you can
One
get into
word.
crazier dialects. Like my
Yeah.
grandfather, my adopted grandfather was from Vietnam, and when you
that shit's
speak
cool.
Vietnamese, you can say the same word to somebody, and it means two different things. It's all on the inflection. Like the word "dai we," just saying it like that doesn't really mean anything. But if I put more emphasis on it, like "dai we," danger,
Okay.
But the other one's like, passive. It's almost the exact opposite.
Kinda
So
like-
if you're not watching your shit
Right.
and you're trying to warn somebody and you're just like, they'll die.
Yeah.
Probably going we.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
He used to love pointing out that the fact that their money is called dong.
I think it's funny that they.
Oh, Hugh. Oh man, his
Canada
favorite
is
thing
what,
was
the
just
loony and the
swearing all
toonie?
fucking day.
the loon, I think.
It's a loony and a toonie for Canada. The $1 is a loony and the $2 is a toonie, and they're both coins.
I love Canadians.
Fucking Looney Toonies.
I fucking love Canadians.
I know they do have. I don't know. They're one of those countries that you don't hear a whole lot about.
There's not a
They
lot.
That's
Of,
the way
gotta-
it should be.
They kind of got a
Right.
dry sense of humor too, especially based
Well,
off
I mean,
that.
that's because they're part French, and they're not the.
They're like England without the aggressiveness.
The French people are so fucking uptight, man,
Oh yes.
and they hate Americans.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Even the ones that aren't from France, the French Canadians, they hate Americans like just as much as the French do. I know because I got dragged to French
English.
Canada.
They just don't
I
like English
lived in
speaking
Toronto for 6 months. I did my my French cuisine course there. That's what my degree is in, is French cuisine. So I know how to make a lot of soups and sandwiches, pastries, breads, all that stuff. But when I lived in Toronto, dude, it was. I can never forget it. Like, it was one of the best times of my life, just because it was a beautiful place. At that time, I was young, so the city life was for me. If you've ever been to Toronto, they have like this 8-story mall, and it like
Right.
3 stories are above ground, and then the 5 stories are below ground. And like the further you get down into it, it turns into like a marketplace or something where you can get like your fresh fruits and vegetables and all that shit. And right up the street, maybe a half a mile, is Chinatown in Toronto, and it was it was kind of awesome. Like just in one day, and then we went to see Phantom of the Opera, or excuse me, Les Mis at in Toronto, and that was fucking awesome as well. So I Toronto is a beautiful place. I would definitely go back there. It's really not that far away. It's probably like 6-7 hour drive maybe.
Toronto is the Algonquin word for the meeting point in the water.
One of my favorite bluegrass bands is Canadian.
We have bluegrass in Canada.
It's called the Dead South.
One of my favorite bluegrass comes from Canada.
Canada.
Mine comes from Kentucky like it should.
Oh,
No, I like these guys. It's a dark bluegrass. Go
yeah,
figure.
this one's more like a light bluegrass.
Mine's more of a purple.
Mostly green. yeah. See, I'd never seen
Throw a
grass.
little red in there.
Dude, I never seen grass that was blue before, and then this guy brought in some grass that was blue.
This joke that I heard online today.
We're all
Yeah,
talking
they
about
actually
different
do have-
things.
Yes,
No, they actually do have bluegrass in Kentucky.
I know. No, but I actually got some weed one time from Canada. It was blue.
You're talking. Oh,
It was bluegrass. It was fucking blue. Bluegrass. I was like, what the fuck?
Smoking.
I've had
Oh,
purple
I did
Frank.
smoke it too. Yeah, we talked about that. Purple Frank. I want some Purple Frank.
Yeah, what I want to see again is Godzilla's dick.
I
Now that thing was amazing.
love your choice of words on that. He's like a master.
Well picked.
And I was gonna say I won't even hate on you for
Fair
that
enough.
because if that's a strain of weed, I want to see Godzilla's dick too.
Oh, it
It
is.
is a
Yeah,
strain of
he's
weed. I've
told
heard
me
of
about
it.
it quite often.
It's the best I've ever had.
Best I've ever
Wink,
had
wink.
was White Widow number
Nod, nod.
1. Back in the day, back when it was seedy weed. This was not a seedy weed. This was like
You ever have it so green it's almost white?
Yes.
yeah, the White
I
Widow
grow it.
that I had. It was
Godzilla's
the,
dick's like that.
Yeah.
Oh, but the veiny parts, it's really a purplish red with a little bit of orange.
the
Like I
veiny
said,
parts.
it looks like a throbbing cock if you get the right bud. That's why they call it Godzilla's dick. It looks
Good thing
like
this is
it
not
should
a
be the
family show.
Oh, this is nowhere near a family show.
dick. Hey, the first time I was here, I cleared whether or not I could use bubble.
Yeah.
I warned that it was gonna come all over your
Yeah,
face.
I
and
warned, her it was gonna come too, and
it's okay, it
she
likes me.
didn't believe me. And 4.5 years later, here we are.
Hey Ben, do you want to go to the wrestling show this weekend?
Right. I love that kid.
Hey, wasn't it Derek that you were talking about earlier about wrestling?
Bitch, what you talking about, fool?
You like wrestling?
Oh, wrestling. I was a Hulkamaniac, I must confess. Until he picked Andre the Giant up, I believe, at WrestleMania 3.
I mean partially.
That's what I mean. And I knew who the real king was, and he was Andre the goddamn Giant. And I fell in love with him in The Princess Bride. And then I discovered
Andre the
Roddy
Giant, I've
Piper.
learned so many things about him, dude. Like,
But I actually worked in wrestling.
he used to drink 6 bottles of wine for dinner, with his dinner, and his 8 steaks and lobster tails, and I mean his meals were, I mean, as you can imagine, huge.
Yeah.
And the bottles of wine in his hands looked like a bottle of beer to us normal people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome, dude.
Here, back in
I've never heard a
1994.
bad thing about Andre the Giant.
Except for the fact that he died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always bad.
That happens when you got giantism and every single joint in your body has arthritis in it, you know.
And speaking of arthritis in the future, I can't remember his name, but he played Tiny in Friday.
Zeus Tiny Lister.
Okay, yeah, he actually was here, 94, 95. He came with the AWC, the American Wrestling Championship, or something like that. And it was after the whole being Ted DiBiase's
Oh, yeah.
manservant and everything like that. And it was being held at the old Southside High School at the YMCA in the gymnasium. And I got a job working the concession stands that night. but they ran out of tables, so we had to construct a table out of 2x4s, plywood, and some barrels and stuff they had laying around for props and stuff. And
I've been there.
we got to the show, and the sound guy didn't show up. And the guy who got me the job, at the concession stands, knew that I grew up in a radio station, so he volunteered me for the job. I'm 11, 12 at the most, like 12 at the most. And I have to now be on TV because it's being televised on NBC, doing introduction songs for every single guy who comes in. Now, this is back when we were running cassette tapes. One wrong move, it goes to shit. And guess what happens?
God, I've had some of those where we didn't have cassette tapes and shit's gone wrong.
Yeah, he came in and he's like, here's my song, put it on. He was friendly as hell, and I put it on, and it just ate it.
Andre the Giants?
No, Zeus.
Oh, Zeus.
It just ate it. And I had just seen Friday. I did not want to get knocked the fuck out. And there was this guy, he was the hype man.
I got
He
my
was on the
control over
thing.
Debo.
And he's like, play the fucking music. And I was like, I can't. It ain't the goddamn tape. And so Zeus comes over and he looks at me and he's like, and he gives me that stare with a crooked eye that's like looking to Saturn. And he just goes, ooh, it's okay, kid. Everything's fine. But he gave me the look and the thing, like, and I was scared shitless because the camera's on me, but the words that came out of his mouth were so friendly and kind. And then he proceeded to throw a guy completely through the table that I built. And so I knew that shit wasn't fake. And from that day forward, I knew that not all wrestling was fake.
Oh, it's not fake.
And I became a fan of the performance or the sport. I was kind of
it
a
is a
fan
sport,
through Andy
like,
Kaufman. But
anyone
yeah.
who goes through that much, I definitely want to slap people when I hear them say, "Oh, that shit ain't real." No, it's not completely real, man. A lot of it, they know who's gonna win. Yep, it's definitely scripted.
Hold up.
It's a performance.
Hold
yes.
on. Let me sum this up like this. Was John Wick real? No? How many people went and paid to see that shit?
Yeah, it's a performance.
What's the difference?
Not me. I waited until it came out.
You paid for it?
Netflix.
Something paid for it.
Right. Yeah.
Art. No one knew better that it was performance
What's the
art
difference?
than the first intergender
I
champion
mean, it's
in the
actually,
world.
if you ask me, wrestling is more dangerous than John Wick.
It is.
Oh, it is.
I mean,
Way
it's-
more.
Definitely. More people get injured.
These dudes put men and women put their bodies on the line. Yes, I agree that there's not a single one of them that doesn't like to do that, or they wouldn't be doing it. But they're putting their body on the line for entertainment purposes, so you don't
Something
have
good
to.
to watch.
I mean,
You have-
yeah,
right,
at the
you have
end
some
of it,
entertainment.
they do. That's why, like Cedric said, they go through school and training because they're taught proper ways to hit each other
Right,
and
right.
take a hit. But even then, that does, at the end of the day, that doesn't make it any easier on the body.
Let me
and
ask Derek if
accidents
he knows.
happen.
Do you know what a receipt is?
A receipt?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you mean like a.
No,
No,
like
in
in
wrestling.
Like if you're a wrestler.
I just learned today, and
somebody
I've
gets you a
watched
receipt.
wrestling and owned my own.
A receipt in wrestling, you don't know what that is? Like you get a receipt from somebody?
It's when you actually hit someone
It's like an
Oh,
accident.
and they're gonna get you back. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
that means. You're getting a receipt. So
I was gonna say, if you want to know whether or not some of the stuff in wrestling is fake and when it goes wrong, just ask Bret Hart.
just go
Yeah,
try
but
it
you
out
can't.
yourself. I mean, my
'Cause he's
son,
dead.
I've had my youngest son used to love it, dude. He would, while all the wrestlers were getting ready and all that, he would go in the ring and just, I mean, I had him doing a 619 by the time he was 6, just perfectly too.
Oh, my drummer was into backyard wrestling. I used to have to drag his ass away from getting fluorescent bulbs cracked across his face and shit, just to get him to come to practice. And he's just like,
He's a pretty boy. He could use a scar or two.
I love
know you're
flying
drummer.
around and stuff. And So yeah, no, it is very athletic, and
What was it? I can't remember the guy's name.
Not just that, but
Hacks. I think it was Hacks.
those matches go longer than most, if not all, MMA fights.
oh yeah,
Where MMA fight are maybe, yes, they're actually getting hit and beat and stuff like that, but they also have a 5 minute break in between each round.
I
In
don't.
wrestling, they don't. I mean, yeah, they have a way of getting their breath and stuff, you know, and exiting the ring, or both being down in the ring at the same time. However, but still, these guys are going straight for 30, 45 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, I actually don't agree with it. I don't like UFC. The violence of it. It's not that I'm not a violent person. I love seeing a good ass whooping. But I don't know, the way they go about it, it's just a little.
I mean, no matter.
I actually don't think they get paid enough to get
No, they don't. And
put
that's
through
one of the
what they're
big
put
things
through.
right
That's
now,
why I
too,
don't like it,
because,
because it just
I
doesn't.
mean, they're making millions and millions of dollars, and they're only paying these guys like.
Couple 100,000, not
Yeah,
even.
I mean,
Can't remember
and
who
the
it
wrestlers
was.
are even worse. I mean, I saw a thing
That one woman
with Ryback. He has
this
his own
was just-
podcast. I don't know if you guys know that. You know who Ryback is. Feed me more. He's he just got fired. I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, and after that, he was in the indie scene for a while, and then he just started doing his own podcast. But on his last podcast he showed an actual pay stub from the WWE where he had made $279, and then he showed another paper of all of the money that from the contract that the WWE made off of him.
Oh yeah.
And it was ridiculous, dude. It was like $68,000 or something, and they gave the guy, $200-$300 a paycheck, dude, and he's the one that's putting his fucking body on the line.
It's the way it's
It's,
done.
it's just ridiculous, but it's the same thing that's going on in UFC. Same thing. They're getting paid a little bit more, but they're still not getting paid
See,
what they should.
honestly-
for what they're going through.
Honestly, that's kind of like why I like boxing.
Well, kind of.
I don't really care. for
MMA
boxing.
is the new boxing.
Yeah,
Boxing's
but
a
I actually
joke
care for
right now.
MMA more than I like
okay, but boxing, at least the matches are done right. The guys come to the table and they actually negotiate on what they're gonna
They're
take.
not though. A lot of if you read a
No.
lot of the things that are going on right now, like people are taking the fall for the extra cash, like these. The
Okay,
fucking,
but the way that they negotiate the matches, if people weren't fixing them.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's always been fixed
You know.
fights.
Yeah, I know.
the Paul brothers, if they have their hand in anything, dude, they're
It's
paying
fixed.
people off to lose the fights because
Jesus.
there's no way that some of these people that have fought for so long are losing to these douchebags. Like, they're not good. If you watch them, they're not good.
Well, you see that all the time. Some people think that I keep seeing it in my social media feeds that the NFL is actually scripted and stuff like that.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past. I really wouldn't put it past the. I mean, I've been seeing things for years about how the government just uses the sports entertainment for
Distraction.
to keep you distracted from what's going on around you. Did anybody go vote today?
Nope. I subscribe to the George Carlin philosophy of belief of why
Same.
do not vote.
What?
Because if you vote, and you're regardless of whether or not your person loses, you don't get to complain.
What?
Because if you guy lost, you cast your vote. Guy lost. Take your eat your crow. Wait till next time. Save your complaints. If you ain't got nothing constructive to say. If your guy wins and he fucks up, you can't complain. You chose him. However, me, who decided to stay home and had absolutely nothing to do with the situation, has every right to complain.
See, I'm on the other end of the spectrum on that. I believe that, and I
Plus,
didn't go
votes
vote
don't
today
matter
just because
anymore.
it's local and I haven't transferred it over to New York yet. But I believe that you should vote just because there's very few rights that you get in this country.
Oh, I
You should
agree
use
with the
it,
voting.
you know, like if you're able to vote, then do it. And like my mom said today, she doesn't eat, and my mom is very political, and she said that she used to yell at Dan's mom all the time because she would bitch about what's going on and she wouldn't vote. So if you don't vote, then you can't bitch about it. Like,
Right, you had your chance to choose who
so
you
that's
want.
why she was like,
We tend to stay away from politics on this one.
yeah,
but
yeah. We're not really talking about politics.
If,
Oh, no,
uh,
sorry. Talk about that. On that note,
Rights. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
if I could just say one thing on that one though, there is one little tidbit that I would like to make clear. 20% of the population of the world gets the right to choose their leaders.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody else has their leaders chosen for them.
True.
Just putting it out there.
Yeah.
The real reason why I don't vote in all seriousness is because if the vote mattered, then it would. And unless it's a local election, like if you're choosing the president, your vote doesn't matter. He's elected by a thing called the Electoral College.
Right.
That's why the past two
Which has been in
presidents have
question.
been elected
Right.
with unfavorable
Right.
amounts of vote.
Right.
But
I vote in all local elections though, especially the sheriff election. That matters.
But yeah, local elections, always vote in your local elections because that's where the power actually is. Once you
It
get up
does.
to the
That's where it
national level,
starts. I agree. I definitely agree with that.
that's when it doesn't.
I just feel like I said, if you have that right, use it. If you're given rights, use them. Because
I didn't vote today because I didn't agree with the views of either one. And I also believe that if you don't agree with any of the candidates, you shouldn't
What
be
was the
forced
voting?
to vote.
What was voting for today anyway?
local elections. Like
Yeah, local, I believe it was for mayor,
mayor,
and
city
for-
councilman.
and I think one of the judges' seats was up
Yep.
Oh,
for family court, I believe. I didn't know enough
I'm not
about him
worried
to vote
about-
for him. I don't, just want to walk in there and cast a blind vote.
yeah.
Some of the people I didn't agree with.
See, it used to be that no vote was a wasted vote, but with all this shit going on with them, I mean, I don't really know.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I
Are they
kind of
really
agree
cheating?
with that.
Are the Democrats really cheating? I mean,
I've got
That
a
both sides have been since the beginning.
right.
I've got a really weird view on it. I don't care, cause in the grand scheme of the universe and everything, it doesn't fucking matter. So
Yep.
But he's a resident nihilist.
They're all gonna die.
yes,
We're all
I
gonna die.
am.
We're all gonna die the same death, really.
No,
Ultimately.
No, some of them is
No.
going to be on fire, and that's
Mine's
gonna
gonna be a
hurt little bit
glorious
more, I'm
death.
sure, because nobody wants to be on.
I'm
fire.
gonna die a glorious death.
Hopefully not on fire.
That's glorious.
Yeah. There's,
Well, I guess I mean
there's only two things in this world that I fear, and one of them is fire.
that reminds me of the guy who got arrested in 1888. Real story. At Eldridge Park for throwing firecrackers at the bears in the bear pit.
There was
Yeah.
a bear pit.
That would have been one hell of a
Yeah,
glorious
there
death.
used to be bear fighting.
Yeah, this
Bear
guy,
fighting?
this
Yeah.
drunkard came up. You know where the plateau rise is
I
at
think
the
we
skate
talked about
park?
this kind of sort of.
That's where the bear pit was, but he came up to the plateau rise and he kept lobbing, because this is 1888, these homemade, like, cherry bomb dynamite, concoction things at the fucking bears. They were large enough so where they were actually, like, damaging the structure. The cops had to be called because the bears were in danger of coming out, and I can't think of a more glorious death than angering a bear.
by
I've
bears.
always wanted to wrestle a bear.
Come on, bitch. Dead.
I'd lose now though, because
Oh,
I've lost all my
God.
muscle.
You'd lose to a cub. Oh shit.
I say,
You know what-
I say they
you
should
know
bring
what
the
I've
bear
always-
pit back.
You know what I've always wanted to do? I've
Yeah.
wanted to see in real life, just to actually look, how tall is giraffe pussy? Like, people tell me it's always 9 feet tall. How fucking tall is
I
that?
heard
Dude.
one the other day that said higher than Tyrannosaurus twat.
I read Everybody Poops for the first time when I was 24. And the last sentence of that book is, I wonder what whale poop looks like. And I thought to myself, oh my God. I
Oh,
never
boy.
thought of it, but now I need
You know
to
what
know.
most
Not
like
want,
expensive
I need
perfumes
to
are
know.
made out of?
Fish,
Whale puke.
yeah, whale puke and fish scales and everything else.
It's crazy. 'Cause
but if you're
you
wondering
smell
what
it long
whale poop
enough,
looks
you
like,
can actually smell like fish.
it looks like the time you didn't make it out of the pool.
That's why pussy smells like fish.
I was gonna say, usually if you smell it long enough, it starts to smell like fish. Underneath it all.
Which-
It all.
You know, has anybody figured out why that is?
Why do they use whale puke?
No, why?
Why it smells like fish?
Oh no.
After a little while, yeah. Like, why gamey?
Air?
But I mean, why gamey?
It needs air. It needs air.
I mean, we could go back to the 1970s douchebags.
We all know what the Fununda cheese smells like.
Right.
I don't know. I've heard some women
It's
refer
like
to
gamey.
under balls smelling like cooked cabbage.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's not gamey.
I,
Why gamey? Why something so off-putting on something so pleasant?
I mean, maybe that's why God made it bleed for 5 to 7 days a month.
It's a wondrous thing.
Until it's not.
Ugly as a motherfucker. But it's a wondrous thing.
You think vaginas are ugly? I don't.
Well, I think all sexual
think
organs
penises
are
are
ugly as
ugly.
hell. I
I really do.
100,000% subscribe to
It
both
looks like a
uglies.
mushroom with a fireman helmet.
Yeah, I don't know what song I was listening to the other day, but it was the first rap song I've ever heard where they actually refer to genitals as genitals.
Oh yeah, he did
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah, it came
That was
across. I'm like,
actually in,
I like this song just because of that.
Junior Mafia's Get Money, I think. Yes, that's what it was in.
You gotta hear
did
Digital
say,
Underground then.
bitches squeeze your tits and niggas grab your genitals. That's what the...
Remember Digital Underground? The Humpty Dance and shit.
I do
Do the
remember.
Humpty Dump. Dump.
Fun fact for people who do not know,
Tupac was in there.
Tupac was in that group, and he was also in the movie, is it Nothing But Trouble?
I believe so.
With Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase, so they come in front of the judge, the whole group does.
Yep.
And you can actually see Tupac in the background. Yeah. Yep. And actually one of his first songs that he did that, I think it was on his second album, I Get Around,
Yep.
he brought two of the members from Digital Underground on that song with him.
Yep. Did their own verses in
It's
there.
actually on my liked songs.
Cool.
Yeah, I
With
don't-
that one that Rob's got
On the
listening
catalog.
to like 8 hours a day.
Of both.
Yeah, I passed that guy off to Cedric. Maybe he'll be able to handle that more tactfully. But yeah, no.
Smack a bitch.
Did you get yourself... Wait, Lucky didn't come in, did he?
Huh?
Lucky didn't come in, did he?
Lucky. Oh, yeah, no.
Either the
No, this
the
dude was
world's
apparently under the
greatest
impression
local
it
rapper or the world's worst local
Oh.
rapper.
Yeah, no. This,
Depending on whether or not he's
Frank,
serious.
do you want to talk about some shop stories? I don't know.
Yeah,
We've had
that's
the
some
cops
local
here the past
music.
2 nights. Not
Oh,
tonight, but the
my
2
God.
nights
Jesus
before.
Christ.
Yeah.
Can we without it incriminating people?
Yeah, we can't use any names, but
They're-
So
they're
one
not
of
Should
our-
we even
like,
tell the
Simon.
story then?
yes, absolutely.
Can we without it already being
Yes.
heavily
Yes.
implied?
Now, one of our employees.
A lot of our employees like pussy, man. I mean,
I
Yeah.
even the females.
Haven't had it in a really long time.
Yeah,
I do.
I
So-
know, but anyone that knows already knows.
Okay, so tell the story as in a male perspective because we don't want to tip off any of the lesbian people that work for us. Go for it.
I have no idea what's going on.
I'm confused now.
I feel like I'm opening a gift.
So a person that works closely with us,
Undescript build.
undescript of
Gender
person,
neutral.
gender neutral
Fishman.
person. Yeah, there you go. Recently started dating this other person that's new to town.
This one's a squid.
It was a different person of a different person's perspective.
One was a squid, the other was a fish.
Said people were having fun, possibly way too much fun, possibly way too much fun, because the second person's family hadn't heard from them in days because this person was
MIA.
fucked into a coma. But
I've been there.
so this other person's family was worried and they called and the cops showed up looking for the other person to find the other person, and this person wasn't answering that person and this person, and there's a lot of persons in this story, and I'm not exactly sure how to say this without incriminating people. So there's persons that are getting looking for persons that are persons of persons.
And police are looking for one person that could be with one person.
Right. The police are always looking for a person.
So
What's the
long story
crime?
short,
Long story short, the cops are looking for somebody.
Could have possibly been a crime scene, but no crime.
I don't. Yeah, I guess that all depends on what they're into, you know.
So
I mean, well, it was a
Some
crime
things are
scene, but
borderline.
there was a crime
let's
scene.
just
but
say
it was a
said
different
person
kind of crime.
never saw the police at all.
No. Oh my god.
I
But,
still have absolutely.
Another story we can.
But I'm filled with
this one's
ideas,
easier
which
to
I love
talk
much
about.
more.
This one's so much easier to talk about.
don't
We got this
wanna
guy.
I don't want to know.
We got this guy that comes to the shop that we've talked
The
about.
pumpkin thief.
The pumpkin thief. He. Oh my god.
Oh, you'll
Ladies and
love
gentlemen.
pumpkins.
Oh, hey. We have a recurring theme. The pumpkin thief. You know, every time this guy comes
It's
back,
almost
he'll
like
be a new
pumpkin.
segment on our fucking show. So, no lie. I don't want him to come back. Hopefully, this is the last time we talk about him, but to be honest with you people,
I doubt it.
it won't be. We have kicked this guy out like 11 fucking times. So many people have kicked him out. Like, I really honestly think at this point, I'm the only one that hasn't actively escorted him off of the property.
I haven't. I'd like to. I got some aggression I need to get out. of.
Okay.
Since, like, 19.
But, like, the other day, me and Unc are just standing outside shooting the shit, and we're high as hell, and neither one of us paying attention, and it's dark, and this guy just walks up out of nowhere while Unc's waiting for his food, and he's like, yo, let me get a light, and me and Unc just kind of like stare at each other for a minute, and we're like, what the fuck? And Unc was like, what are you doing here, bro? And he's like, oh, I'm just trying to get a pre-roll. After he stole. After we've kicked him out of here.
Is this the
After
gentleman you were
all this
Was
shit.
it the same dipshit I dealt with? Or is it the other one?
The other one.
Oh, okay.
The one that keeps coming back. Yeah. And we was like, dude, what?
He doesn't
the
know how to
fuck?
call you yet.
We was like, dude, you are not allowed here. Fucking leave.
He goes, whatever, and just walks away.
What the fuck? People are retarded.
Alright, guys, I think I'm gonna end this session. I have to pee.
Yeah. We got a couple of
toilet
good
throw around the
stories.
corner.
This would be a porta john at this point, wouldn't it?
How far are we on time?
I think we've made it a whole hour, guys.
Almost hour and 15.
Yeah.
After
Alright, guys,
edits, we'll be
so-
over an hour. Any closing thoughts
There,
today?
thanks for joining us again. We'll see you again soon, I'm
Definitely.
sure.
Yeah, I'll have more. I still have tons.
Oh yeah, we just get lost in topics.
Oh no,
the
that's what
glory
I
of
mean.
the
Like I should just
podcast.
abandon it and just
no.
wing the shit. No, I mean I can throw stuff in there. I mean it just doesn't have to be locally oriented.
Oh yeah.
I am a
Yeah, he's got a
wealth
lot.
of useless information, especially spanning topics.
Yeah, I got a lot of useless information as well. When I do read, that's what I read. Dumb, useless.
See, the faster way is to listen.
Have people
Ask
read
him.
it to you.
Yeah,
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
he's
There's
got a
some-
documentary going.
I like them too.
Alright.
Now
Well,
I'm
All right,
Google
guys.
spending everything on the 60th anniversary of the
Thanks.
Kennedy assassination,
oh my.
which I'm pretty sure was done by Lee Harvey Oswald.
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure, and I figured out why. That's why.
That's why. Perfect. All right, guys.
It actually
See you
does
next
have
time.
to do with drugs.
Alright.
We'll talk about it.
Well, what it is oh, I thought we were already off.
No.
Yeah, go ahead and kill it.
I wait for him to do his.
I did. I said, all right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
why
hear
I
it.
thought. That's
It
why I
didn't
thought
go
we were
through.
off.
Hey, guys. We'll see you next time.